What if one of the most dangerous titles in history was hidden in plain sight? What if a single phrase, spoken in a courtroom, was enough to sign a man's death warrant? What if the most mysterious figure in the Old Testament was not symbolic, not poetic, not metaphor, but someone real? Who is the Son of Man? And why does heaven itself tremble when he approaches the throne? Why does fire surround the courtroom? Why does judgment begin the moment he arrives? And why did one man, centuries later, claim this title and get executed for it? Tonight, we step into a vision so unsettling, so misunderstood, that for centuries scholars tried to tame it, soften it, explain it away. But what if it says exactly what it appears to say? No speculation, no tradition, no theology imposed, just scripture. Let's go back to the night the prophet Daniel couldn't sleep. Babylon, exile, a foreign empire. Daniel is no longer young. He has served kings, interpreted dreams, seen kingdoms rise and collapse. But this night, something different happens. Not a dream, a vision, violent, chaotic, terrifying. The wind howls across a dark sea. Waves crash like nations at war. Then, 4 beasts emerge. Not animals, monsters. A lion with wings, a bear crushing bones, a leopard with 4 heads, and the last, too dreadful to describe. Iron teeth, 10 horns, something unnatural, something demonic. These are not creatures. They are empires, kingdoms built on blood, human history without God, power without mercy, civilization without righteousness. And Daniel watches, helpless, because the world seems ruled by beasts. And then, everything changes. The scene shifts. Suddenly, the chaos stops. The camera of heaven lifts. Above the beasts, above the earth, into the sky. And Daniel sees something no prophet had ever described before. A courtroom, thrones set in place, books opened, fire everywhere. Then he sees him, the Ancient of Days, hair white like wool, clothing bright as light, his throne ablaze, wheels of burning fire, a river of fire pouring out before him. Thousands upon thousands serving him, millions standing before him. This isn't symbolic poetry. This is judgment, cosmic judgment, history on trial. Every empire, every tyrant, every kingdom accounted for. And suddenly, the final beast is destroyed, not negotiated, not reformed. Destroyed, burned, erased, because beastly power never lasts forever. But then, Daniel sees something unexpected, something no Jewish reader expected, something no king would tolerate. Someone approaches the throne, not crawling, not trembling, walking through the clouds. Daniel says, I saw one like a son of man, coming with the clouds of heaven. Stop. Clouds. In the Old Testament, clouds belong to God. God rides the clouds. God appears in clouds. Clouds are divine imagery. So who is this? He looks human, like a son of man. Yet he moves like God. He approaches the throne, without fear, without permission, without being stopped, and no angel restrains him. No cherub blocks the way, because he belongs there. Then something impossible happens. The Ancient of Days doesn't judge him. He doesn't test him. He doesn't question him. Instead, he gives him something: dominion, glory, a kingdom, and not temporary authority, not borrowed power, but eternal dominion, everlasting rule, worship from all nations. Wait, worship. Scripture forbids worship of anyone but God. So why is this figure receiving it? Who is allowed to receive the worship of the nations? There is only one answer, but Daniel doesn't explain it. He just watches, stunned. This is where it gets uncomfortable, because this vision creates a problem, a massive theological problem. If God is one, how can someone stand beside him, share his throne, and receive his authority? For centuries, rabbis wrestled with this. Some said it must symbolize Israel. Others said it represents an angel. Others tried to say it's just metaphor, because the alternative is explosive. If this figure is divine, then Daniel just saw two persons sharing God's authority. Not two gods, but one divine rule. Shared. That's dangerous theology. Too dangerous. So the text was softened, explained away, until a carpenter from Galilee stepped into history and said something shocking. Fast forward centuries. Roman occupation. Jerusalem tense. Religious leaders watching every word. And one man keeps saying something strange. He doesn't just call himself Messiah. He doesn't just say prophet. He keeps saying, the Son of Man, over and over and over. Not a son of man, not human, the Son of Man. A title, a reference, directly pointing back to Daniel. Finally, during a trial, they demand the truth. Tell us plainly, who are you? And he answers, you will see the Son of Man seated at the right hand of power, coming with the clouds of heaven. That's not a metaphor. That's Daniel 7. Word for word. In that moment, every scholar in that room knew exactly what he meant. He wasn't claiming to be a teacher, or prophet, or reformer. He was claiming the throne, claiming the clouds, claiming eternal dominion, claiming equality with God. That's why the high priest tore his robes. That's why they shouted blasphemy. Because he wasn't just claiming a role. He was claiming Daniel's vision, claiming to be the figure who receives worship, claiming to be divine. That man was Jesus Christ, and that claim got him executed. Here's the question scholars still debate. Is the Son of Man symbolic or personal? Let's test it. Symbols don't approach God's throne physically, receive eternal worship, rule forever, judge nations. Symbols represent. They don't reign. Daniel didn't see a metaphor crowned. He saw a person, a figure, an individual, given authority that belongs only to God. Which means Daniel wasn't predicting an idea. He was seeing someone who looks human, yet shares God's throne. Someone both divine and human. Someone history wasn't ready for. Someone the prophets glimpsed, but couldn't fully explain. The Son of Man is not less than God, and not merely man. He is the bridge, heaven touching earth, divinity clothed in humanity, authority wrapped in flesh. This is not philosophy. It's what the text says. If we let it speak, Notice something else most people miss. In Daniel 7, authority is transferred from beasts to the Son of Man, from chaos to righteousness, from violence to justice. History isn't random. It's moving toward a throne. Every empire falls. Babylon, Persia, Greece, Rome, modern powers too. All temporary, all beastly, all fading. But one kingdom lasts forever. And it's not built by armies. It's given by God, which means the future isn't controlled by governments. It's already decided in heaven. The courtroom has already ruled. The verdict has already been written. The Son of Man wins. So here we stand, thousands of years later, still asking the same question Daniel asked. Who is this? A symbol, or the King of eternity? Because if Daniel's vision is true, then the Son of Man isn't just a figure in prophecy. He's the judge of history, the ruler of nations, the one every empire must answer to. And one day, the clouds will part again, not in vision, but in reality, not symbolic, but visible. And every kingdom, every ruler, every person will stand before the same throne Daniel saw. Books opened, fire blazing, judgment set, and the Son of Man receiving the kingdom forever. So the question isn't just theological, it's personal. When that day comes, where will you stand? Because Daniel's vision isn't just about the future. It's about a decision. Now,